Supervisor Bierman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, it's hard to actually come up with what to say about such an absolutely landmark, important piece of legislation. Wouldn't surprise you that the people sitting up on this dais, I'm sure we're all a little bit political junkies. And if you go into politics, you want to write something like the Americans with Disabilities Act. You want to work on something that expands opportunity for everyone in your community. You want to work on something that empowers people. But what's really, really important to also understand about things like the Americans with Disabilities Act, things like being in government, is that you never do it alone. Supervisor Walkinshaw, I'm going to steal this from him. This is a Spark thing that says, "Nothing about us without us." And I see so many of my friends with Spark here today. Nothing about us without us. And the story of the Americans with Disabilities Act is actually a story about, yes, some politicians in a room getting together and writing a piece of legislation, but doing it with activists, doing it with people who refused to see disability as a problem, who refused to see that as a challenge that could not be overcome, who wanted to make sure that they were full participants in everything in society and who demanded that right. And for 35 years, the Americans with Disabilities Act has protected that right. And in fact, it's also such a great piece of, you know, last year I talked about how it was Tom Harkin, Democrat, progressive Democrat from Iowa, working with George H.W. Bush to get signed into law. What I didn't talk about was in 2008, that was Jim Sensenbrenner, conservative Republican from Wisconsin, working with Steny Hoyer, progressive Democrat from Maryland, to get a reauthorization signed into law by George W. Bush, Republican president. So the history of the Americans with Disabilities Act is a history of, frankly, what's right with America and what the power of government should be. And that's why I think it's wonderful that we are celebrating it here today. I'm grateful for the work of the Fairfax Area Disability Services Board. I'm grateful for the work of county staff in our human services to work on making sure that the ADA is fully realized here in Fairfax County. Thank you.